So I guess we gotta get join
We're good now.
after you start.
Okay, guys, we're back. Uh, Sorry about that. I think this should be much better now.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Sweet.
We learned something today, guys.
Basically Zoom wouldn't let me change the audio inputs, and they at some point in time reset. I had got this whole thing set up, and then they changed something. It updated and changed it all back, and I had to go find all of the three places it had to be changed and fix it again. Okay, a lot of smack talk going on Twitch. Hey guys. Okay, where were we?
Well, yeah, it's more like it's kind of not gonna be a funny joke, but instead of you being the bit bender, apparently you've been bent by bits.
I have been bent by bits. That is a very very funny joke. Ha 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 ha.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Okay, I'm glad everyone has better audio here. Um, okay, wait, you can't hear us?
Who? Who can't hear us?
Forge is saying he can't hear us now, but
Now I can barely hear it. Huh.
I can hear the seagulls in the background. We have seagulls? Do you have seagulls in the background?
Yeah, that must be you.
I don't have any seagulls. Huh. Okay, anyway, let's just drive on and answer some questions. What do you guys got?
There are probably some questions up higher here. Let's see. There's some commentary about your beard, about the whole "I can't grow a beard" thing was fake news.
It wasn't. I'll go find that. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna go close my window because yeah, they're starting construction outside. One sec.
Oh, you guys are going to hear a leaf blower here in a minute. Not much I can do about that. I'm going to take a stab at the whole IPFS thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
I, I don't know what the ultimate decision the network is going to make on this issue, but I have a feeling that we're, as a group, going to steer towards making sure that what we're rewarding are the behaviors that service the greatest number of people possible. So it's probably going to be location based, is my guess. I, though it's a complicated technology and it's a complicated solution that needs to evolve. So my guess also is that the first attempt that we make at rewarding something like that will probably be flawed in some pretty significant ways. That's my guess.
That's why we adjust and modify and make sure that we are able to adjust to hit our moving targets. Let's see. Uh, in terms of outside U.S. hiring, that's something that we're looking at, but we can't really do in any great effect right now, Rodolphe.
Have you considered that children in developing countries might focus or be forced to play to earn rather than focus on education? That is actually kind of like a nightmare scenario that I've contemplated. That we just, instead of them being forced into sweatshops where they're making shoes or whatever, they're kind of forced into a similar sweatshop, but now they have phones or computers or whatever. Um, so yeah, I have considered it. I have thought about it. I'm not totally sure what we can do about it yet, but it is something. that I really don't want to see happen.
I think that for me, it's about building systems that allow people to make better decisions. That ultimately, if you have parents that are gaming, that may make it less necessary for, that to be pushed over onto the children. Um, it's all about looking at the economic impact of something and adjusting and modulating as you go forward with it. We love the idea of educational games.
I actually think a lot of games are educational, even if they don't necessarily come across that way. So like you and I, Jason, we play Civilization a lot, and I think that actually is a great way to learn strategy, especially when you're younger. Um,
The number of trivia competitions I've won because of stuff I learned from video games is kind of appalling.
yeah, I would say Miranda's and Fortified are progressing as expected.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a
yeah, that's
there's a
definitely
cool
the case.
update for Mirandus. Some news coming out on Monday. I spent a bunch of time talking to McCarthy yesterday. Basically, what we do is the Mirandus team works on its stuff, and then we get together and have a kind of an update. And so there will be some cool stuff to show this coming week. And
I'm
there will.
particularly excited about the ancient lore that's coming out. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
And yes, for fortified, there will be new towers coming this week, and the shops should hit the Mirandis store, I believe, starting on Monday. There's a lot of eyeballs here. There's a lot of eyeballs here, Eric.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What what do you think? Can we talk about that really big announcement that is coming out next week at all? Can we mention anything about that, you think?
I'm trying to think of a fun way to do this without actually giving it away.
We could talk maybe about the no, probably can't.
No, no, we can't. We can't. Um,
I suppose if we
hmm.
said the category that people would remember something I said previously. And I was like, hey, what do you guys think about XYZ? And they're like,
Uh,
somebody
uh,
will remember.
People frantically start typing in the search bar. Um,
Well, one thing
yeah.
we can say is that we're really getting into um, more of the art, the NFT art side of things.
Yes. Yes. I think one of the things that's really important about what we're trying to do is it's this concept of how do we bring more people into this world that otherwise may not have entered it. And one of the things that we're doing that I think might be announced on Monday, maybe, um, will go a large direction in that, a large ways in that direction. Doc skin confirmed. Angie, we're always working on the blockchain side. Always. That never stops.
That would be fun, an official Snoop Dogg. So here's a fun fact, guys. I actually went to high school with Snoop Dogg in Long Beach.
Wait, you did?
Um,
I didn't know
I
this.
did. I
Tell me.
did.
I must hear this
Yeah.
story.
So I think I was a freshman and he was either junior or senior. We had one class together and it was a creative writing class, but he never showed up. Or, yeah.
Are there
But it's
plans
really
for.
funny because like in a lot of his music videos, his early music videos, I would recognize people in the video as people who would work at the school.
That's hilarious. Um, How about plans for casino games? What do you think? Do you think that would be an interesting thing, Eric? Or casino related NFTs, maybe?
Yeah, I could see that being interesting. Like a poker, something related to poker. That could be interesting.
I would like poker. I'm a big fan of poker.
I like poker.
Who else likes poker?
I hear a lot of crypto people are into poker too.
I think so too.
No, not actual gambling. We're not going to go there.
Yeah. Let's
Someone
see.
someone someone wants to know about Project X.
Project X. Project X, I believe, is going to be the page will be posted on the website starting next week. So you'll be able to read a little bit more about it, and that will be a fun thing. There's also going to be some more news and press releases around it coming in the next couple weeks. Stormin61 worked in the casino industry, IRL, for years. I'd love to hear those stories, man.
Yeah, I bet you it's pretty wild. Do you have any more questions? When fortified.
Play to Earn Online wants us to make a card game like Gwent and integrate it into Mirandus. Dude, I spent so much time playing Gwent. Like, seriously, Witcher 3 is just me playing Gwent. That's all that I do in that game. Every adventure I went on was just to get more Gwent cards.
So, Mr. Noby has an interesting question. We actually had a conversation with a very large publisher of games. They're like, I don't know, I think we figured out their market cap was in the tens of billions. And they're, like everyone else, they're very aware of what's going on with the NFT space, but they had a really interesting concern, which was basically in all of the terms of service for most of these companies, they basically say that you're effectively leasing at the discretion of the game company anything that you buy. And whenever they feel like it, they can take that away from you. And you have no recourse, right? So their concern is that if we give somebody an NFT and it's worth tons and tons of money eventually someday, what happens if they need to, for some reason, turn the game off? And are they legally liable? Is there, you know, there's all these, so there's concern about all these like interesting legal corner cases that come up with it. And so I would say that that's probably one of the kind of like interesting blockers to the adoption here is kind of getting over that hurdle.
Yeah, I think Angie wants to know if Elon knows about us. Do you think Elon knows about us, Eric? I think he's probably
On who?
maybe Elon. Who's that guy? I don't. It's a weird name, Elon. Um, good times. Good times. Uh, what was?
I like to talk about my going forwards question. Can you talk about how Fortify doesn't become a pay to win whale game? I mean, look, you can buy NFTs, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. Um, my sense of it, though, is that we'll want to have different, um, I guess, classes of challenge maybe in the game so that you're not always going up against somebody who's going to just, you know, beat the pants off you, 10 out of 10 times. But, you know, I think in order to let the ecosystem do its thing, we kind of just have to let it happen. So, and I think ultimately it benefits everybody, assuming the game's fun. So that's just my sense of it. And it's kind of like a Western problem too. What I've come to realize is the whole pay to win. Anathema is really just more of a Western perspective on it. Pay to win is pretty much a predominant force in a lot of different um, gaming locales. But in fact, you can't even really talk to a Western game developer about pay to win without them wanting to run screaming. So it's definitely just something we have to think about. But man, we're trying to do something really revolutionary, and there's gonna be people who don't like some of what we do. Um, but I think what we're going to try to do is find the path forward that, you know, 95% of the people love.
Well, the other thing that is important too is there's a big difference. Let's look at a
That's
sport.
true on when life is pay to win. Every
Yeah,
every sport you watch on television is pay to win. Every
I
single
mean,
one of them.
think about something simple. Like let's take frisbee, right? Now, two people can go outside with a frisbee. They can play frisbee. They can have tons of fun, and that's it. However, they are not going to win any competitive frisbee competitions with their little frisbee that they got, for free from a gas station. Do they even do that anymore? Do gas stations give out free stuff? They used to. Um, but if you're going to play competitive ultimate frisbee, you're going to buy gear, you're going to buy shoes, you're going to buy special discs, you're going to buy, all of these different things, and it's just the way that it is. Now that said, you're going to be able to play these games, fortified. Yes, if you don't have NFTs, you can totally play. You can play, you can have fun, you could potentially earn something. You're probably not going to dominate the entire map, but you can certainly play, and that'll you can have fun with it, and that's one of the most important things. Um, let's see. Even Quidditch is play to win. That is very true.
So they're asking about the fortified. I think it's going to start. I think there will be a PV aspect, won't there, in fortified?
In Fortified, yeah, that is one of the things that's being worked towards. It's probably not going to be the first iteration. Um, Zupao from Twitch says, "Will you be able to win NFTs sometimes in order to improve slowly?" Yes.
In fact, when I was originally thinking about NFTs is uh, what I want it to be was you might find a really kind of like basic NFT, like let's say a sword, and then you improve it with your gameplay and your time, and maybe I don't know, maybe some of your money if you wanted, and then after you've improved it enough, then you go and you can sell it to somebody else for more. So that was kind of how I was imagining it working for a lot of people. So someone could just be playing and then find something and just be really surprised and excited about it.
An epic or legendary drop or something like that, on rare occasion. Um, how do you feel Mirandus's production is progressing? Are there things you want to happen but can't because of technical limitations? We haven't seen that yet. I'm very happy with the way that it is progressing so far. I can't wait to play it. Oh, Justin asked. Okay, sorry. Please keep in mind, Justin, that we are, scrolling in a couple different places. It's really easy to miss something. When are gameplay updates coming to Townstar? That was something McCarthy was talking about just the other day. I'm thinking that there will be some updates coming before too terribly long. I'm not sure exactly what those will be though.
Jimmy asks, leaving more bots like Salty Bot. Yes, so I think we really love that mechanic.
Let's see. What time will Miranda's have as a reference? That's an interesting question. Like, what era, what age, like kind of epic fantasy, that sort of time, or like clock, or Game of Thrones weird winter summer thing. Yeah,
I mean, is it more medieval or?
yeah. I think it's going to be a medieval thing here. Um,
Senji's asking an interesting question about the monopolization of new deeds by bigger wallets. I'm assuming it also means stores. Um, yeah, it's a really interesting thing to see that how whatever we sell anything for, it seems like it goes for 3 to 10 times that price on OpenSea. I don't know. You tried, Jason, to
I've
give more
tried,
people a
man. I've
chance.
tried so hard. The next so just so everyone knows, the way that the things have been listed in the store, there's been a journey to get to how the store works. Originally, we listed everything all at once. This happened with the potions, and we're like, hey, we're only going to sell 50%. We're going to sell 50% for late, say 50% for later. And 250% sold out within like 4 minutes, and we ended up having to refund a bunch of people. And then there were a bunch of people who were upset because it happened in the middle of the night in their time zone. So we're like, okay, fine. We re architected everything so that we could do this in 4 different drops around the world at 4 different times. So is it like 6, 12, 6 and 12 again? Um, and all of that sold out in like under 15 seconds. So what we're thinking of doing for these next shops, yes, they will be put in steps, but we're not going to announce the specific time that they go in. So we'll give you an hour. So it'll be somewhere in this hour they will go on sale, but it's not going to be at this
Hi.
exact second.
All right, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
Um,
Why would we do it like that?
well, okay. I
Maybe
mean
we should
that.
do. Here's what we should do. We should tell them it's going to be like at noon, but really release it at like 2, so that the people who get there at noon get frustrated and then leave. Or then maybe we shouldn't sell it at all. Or but even better, that we get there, they try to buy it, and we say you can't actually buy anything for a week. Come back in a week, and then tell them they have to come back, and then another week.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, I was thinking within an hour, but okay, if we don't want to do that, that's fine. That was we don't have to do it that way.
I
But
feel like
uh,
we've bent over backwards to try to make it work. Um, let's not
we
say never let me manage the shop ever. Well, I would just raise prices by 10 times.
he would
That's how I would solve this problem. If things are selling on OpenSea for 10 times what we're offering it for, well, we could always just raise the prices. That certainly would slow things down.
yeah, it would. That's
But then we
that,
have the problem with people would feel like we were cash grabbing and what rug pulling. It would be like the epic gala rug pull. Um, and we're not going to 10x the price of the shops. Don't worry. Um, I actually like your plan of releasing them in 4 parts.
yeah,
I think that's
that,
as
that works
best as we
pretty
can get
nicely.
right now.
That works pretty nicely. Um,
Yeah, we have. Jimmy says we've been raised. Yes, we have. We have raised the prices. That's true. Um, and we probably will continue on some level, depending on because we don't know what these things are worth. We're just like making it up as we go along. Panic. That's right. Dump your gala. Let's see.
let's
Oh yeah, so Jake is asking when the node's going to operate Townstar. Yeah, that's the goal of switching to IPFS. Exactly.
yeah, that's one of the things that's coming very soon.
Oh, Siddhartha had an interesting point. Just have a raffle system or limit one per account. Yeah, you could do that. That's one way to do it.
That is the raffle. Both of those require additional tech lift, and this is something that I've explained to a couple people. Is that if we do something like that, that means we have to stop selling stuff until we go and rebuild the entire system, which we've done twice already to make this work. So if that's what everyone seems to want, then I guess we could do that. But that would also mean that everything gets pushed back until later. Um,
I don't like that feeling that, you're just like refreshing your screen, and then you're like, oh, I missed it. That just kind of sucks.
It does. It was awful, man. Like there were a couple people who sent me some very very angry messages. Like, oh my god,
Probably
I
spent a
tried.
lot of time.
I was sat here and they were out. They were out. Everyone got one but me. Why is it again? Why is it me?
Yeah,
Um,
it's totally, I agree. It's a shit experience.
it
And I
is.
won't even do stuff like that. What was that? The cube thing that came out? I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like sit there for 15.
No, no, I know.
I don't care what it is, it's not gonna happen. Um,
It seems like NFT distribution seems not to take into account bad luck. Erng. Not with, I'm sure what the RNG is. Um, with IPFS, how do you hope to overcome that? Those are two totally separate things. NFT distribution has nothing to do with IPFS.
oh, there's an easy one. How many nodes is Pack running,
Two.
Chase? Yeah, this Siddhartha's got a good point. We could just not have a selector that goes beyond one.
Oh, random number generator. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it is kind of. It's been a while since I got an NFT.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an NFT for a long time either. There's just not many
More games,
NFTs
man.
being distributed right now. We just need more games. Exactly.
Yeah. Once there's more games, everyone's gonna be pretty happy, I think, with the NFT situation.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. No, Catherine, unfortunately, the swag store is not yet open. I'm going through this really irritating dance with Amazon where they won't let us register our brand unless we're able to show that we have a certain amount of sales on Amazon. And we can't get it for sale on Amazon unless we register our brand. I have sent them some emails. If anyone knows someone there, please send them my direction and we can get this sorted out. Seems like we might have some info on other games coming.
No, we do. That's true.
Hmm. I don't know. Should I like wander away and not pay attention for a few minutes and just come back later and see what's happened?
Well, no,
Re-
it's here's what we can say about new games coming.
Rodolphe on Twitch says that they know Jeff and they will make some calls. Please connect me with one of their reps, and I would be more than happy to work with whatever they need to resolve the situation. So if you can do that, you would completely rock, man. I would appreciate that.
You know, what can we say about new games coming? I think we have. I kind of I think I dropped this in the Gal Gold channel a couple of days ago. Let's see. I just agreed with a game company to build five more games for us. Um, I had about I think it was about $2 million a pop. So we just committed to spend $10 million more on games. Um, we just there's another game company that's doing three games, so that's eight plus Fortified Mirandus, that's 12. Um, oh, Jason, you have your special project.
I do have my special project. It's coming along nicely too.
Told anybody that you're making a video game?
No, no, no one knows.
Well, now they do.
Now they know.
Bitbender is officially making a video game, guys.
It's gonna be fun. You're gonna like it.
Constantly pestering him for information about it.
Yes, yes, yes. You are. That is true. But
You
it's
know,
it's it's
Ink and I
coming along
asked
nicely.
when the soonest game. I mean, your game is relatively straightforward, so it could
That
be one of the soonest games,
I think
actually.
it definitely could be, and I think that that other thing that we're not announcing yet that we signed that gives us access to a lot more work will help with that as well. I think.
Yeah. So look, I think So like in this, I'll give you an example. So in this 5 game deal that we just agreed to, that's over the next 2 to 3 years. So it'll be a little while for all of those to come out. Um, but some of the games are already done. So it's just a matter of, you know, bolting in NFTs into it.
Yeah. Um, what's the reason you can't say now, but you can say in 2 days? Media embargoes.
Yeah, it's really
Like,
frustrating.
it's super frustrating, but that's the way that it goes. So, a lot of times, if you're working with a some sort of news outlet or a press something, they simply, in order to work with you, they ask for information on embargo. And so you basically have to say that you're not going to say anything about it for X amount of time so that they can, do this. In fact, we had a situation. This is the reason that we have to be very serious about this. Is earlier this year, we had a situation where we had been talking about something in the Gala Gold chat. Somebody took this, wrote an article on it, okay, and there was going to be something that was going to be published in a major publication, but because the little tiny blog that had been written mentioned this thing, it ruined the large publication's scoop, and so they never ran the piece. And so that's one of the reasons why we have to be super, super, super careful about these sorts of things.
Yeah, and as we do these articles and whatnot, we're going to be monitoring the effectiveness of it. And if it just doesn't seem to do anything, we'll stop doing it and we'll just tell you guys in the Discord and focus on Discord and these AMAs.
Mr. Nobody wants to know when platinum. He wants the Gala platinum now.
Well, we talked about that,
We did.
remember? We talked about like doing like a trip somewhere, uh, once people stop freaking out about COVID, um, kind of making it, a fun way to kind of like check out what's going on with Gala and play a lot of video games, probably. Hmm.
The Kaiser wants to know, why don't we limit the amount of deeds to one per account at the initial amount, and then make it a chance for you basically everything goes into a community pool after that, and it opens up for sale after the first 3 days. I like that as a general idea. We can look at what it would take to implement something like that. Um, I think limiting, we can see if we can get some limiting on initial purchases, as kind of a variable. So maybe when it's an initial drop, then it limits, and then after the initial drop, then it doesn't. Um, let's see.
Oh, Siddhartha has an interesting idea of staking Gala to get different membership tiers. That's kind of cool.
That
Somebody
is
asked
an
about first-person shooters. Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about getting some first-person shooters in here. I think that'd be
yeah.
really fun.
Let's see. So for platinum, Onan says identity requirements and then sign binding NDAs. I think that would be fun.
I can't. It actually takes a, a a certain amount of willpower for me not to share some of the things that we're talking to people about.
It really does. It really does.
We're literally having conversations with like childhood, I mean, effectively heroes in a sense, because I remember the
Absolutely, man.
names of these game developers when I was a kid and loving their games.
Yeah. 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 No,
Oh,
sorry.
Jimmy's asking about the staking in the PNT Gala pool.
PNT. So there's the Pollyan staking, which I mentioned I'm going to be reaching out to people over the weekend about. Um, the NFT part of things, Time to go on a walk. RH is trying to send me out behind the chemical shed to have me shot, Eric. Um,
Well, I mean, sad face, serious sad face around all that.
well, yeah, the whole thing there. Polyant is working on how they are going to be distributing NFTs and things. Our side of things, like everyone who had contributed for the initial test of this in January, will definitely be getting something cool, which I've talked about in the Polyant channel a little bit. But there's some other stuff coming. Like I said, I will be reaching out to you guys.
It's a brutal situation for them
Yeah.
that what happened.
Well, for everybody involved. Let's see.
Conspiring against you.
I know,
They get
right?
more leaks if you're not around.
Mr. Nobody asks, what happened to the rest of the vaults? Will there be auctions in the future? So for that, yes, those auctions are still definitely planned. There is a degree of uncertainty around exactly how they will function. So we're waiting for that to get sorted out before we move forward with that step.
Oh, see, like, yeah, Justin's question around Miranda. So it's not going to be like that. It's not a Diablo hack and slash um, slot machine type game. So I think of it as more of a competitor to MMORPGs,
Yeah.
really. And so I definitely think it's going to be able to stand on its own. Um, I think that um, primarily the reason is that we already have this amazing community lined up for it, and I know that McCarthy's been telling us about the things he wants to stand up um, in the next few months that everybody in the community will be able to actually play around with. And so we're really taking a very different approach to this. And as opposed to a lot of other games where they announce the game and then 4 or 5 years later, or 7 or 10 years later, the game comes out. You guys are going to be able to this year in some way. Do you want to talk about Flare a little bit, Jason? We've had a
Sure.
couple of those.
Sure. I want to answer Jimmy's question here really quick, though. He basically says, does McCarthy know how a shop works before it goes into the store? He's dropping vague hints. Yes. McCarthy, and this is, I will have to say, kind of like much to my personal frustration at times. McCarthy knows exactly how a thing is going to function before it gets out there. He is completely, totally unwilling to be very bendy on that at all. So all of these things that you're seeing have been exhaustively thought out. So yeah. But yeah, Flare. So we are very excited about implementation with Flare as well. We spend quite a bit of time talking to Hugo and figuring out exactly how the ecosystem is going to work. We think that Flare as a base layer provider will be able to really help in terms of some of the NFT management and things like that. And we've even talked to some of the companies that are doing NFT wallets based on Flare. So there's some very cool stuff coming for that in the future. Initially, when it comes to minting NFTs, you'll be able to mint them to Flare, but the bridge to bring them back to Ethereum or to another chain isn't going to be there yet. So that's going to be kind of a work in progress. But yeah, we're definitely very excited about working with Flare on this. And if one of our mods with Facebook access is listening, if you could go and hit some of the spam that is popping up right now in the Facebook, that would be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, minting the treasure chest will definitely be better with Flare. And we've also talked to Hugo about doing a Gala F asset, which is something that I think would be a really cool thing. Thank you, Carrie, for dropping the band hammer. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're talking about doing an F asset as well, which would make it a little bit easier to move Gala around without paying Ethereum fees.
Yeah, and Mr. Nobody asks this if there a vote coming to the nodes. Yeah, there'll probably be some coming soon, actually.
Yes, definitely.
What I'd like to see pretty soon is a way for the node network to submit their own um, proposals to be voted on.
Yeah.
I also really want to see the API um,
Yep.
uh, put out there so that more and more people can start developing their own tools with regards to the nodes. I think it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, man, it's getting pretty close here. Let me look through everything else. IPFS. Oh, that's Jehoshaphat. Hey, thanks for holding down the fort in Twitch, man. Appreciate it. Um, if you put buildings or deeds in Mirandus, can you change the ownership of it in game? Yes. Hello, Gregor. Let's see.
We
Yes,
don't
Tyrone. There will be fighting games.
computer specs for the IPFS not entirely known yet. Definitely going to be more beefy, but it looks like Vulture has options that would probably
Yes,
suffice.
yes. When we say more beefy, we're talking about more beefy than now, but it's at the early stages. It's not going to be a massive ask. It is going to help make sure that the network gets further and further decentralized, though, which is important. Uh, will it be possible to burn artwork NFTs into buildings or something in the future? Lucky Lou asks on Facebook. There will be all sorts of interesting crafting functionalities with some of these NFTs that you've been given. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that will have some pretty cool utility as it gets added into the system. But anyway, guys, I think
Right.
that's all the time
Gotta
that we
run.
have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play us out here. And yeah, peace.